Hello everyone and welcome to my LEGO Zoo tour. I'm going to be showing you around my LEGO Zoo. I'm going to be showing you all the animals in the LEGO Zoo, its history, and giving you all a tour. So we start off our zoo video with, of course, where are you going to get some food at the zoo? So we have our burger stand with nice burgers. You can get some burgers and other donuts and some snacks here at the snack stand. And right across the way, this building is, of course, the veterinarian building where the vets stay. Of course, there are other places in the zoo that vets can rest at and, of course, work at, and I'll cover those too. Start off with our zoo tour. Moving further in, we have our first animals, birds. We have 2 parrots and local birds that visit the zoo, of course, this bird, white bird right here. And sometimes you will get a stray cat that will wander around the outskirts of the zoo or around the zoo walls. The zoo has yellow walls surrounding the zoo, and this is considered the zoo perimeter. Around the zoo, you can see a yellow perimeter dividing the zoo with the zoo sign right there to tell guests where the entrance is. This is the main perimeter of the zoo, and it goes all the way back to the police station over here. So we'll get over there in just a minute. So that is the perimeter of the zoo. Moving into the zoo, you would get tickets here. This is the ticket booth where you get tickets. Of course, tickets are, not expensive to buy, and they cost, of course, probably $5 for one ticket. Of course, depending on how many guests are coming to the zoo and how many in your group, can cost about 2 people $10 for 2 people admission, because each guest costs $5, of course, because we have to, why so expensive, you might have to ask, or why $5? Because we have to have money for food and pay for all the animals' needs. So, of course, all the money that goes to the ticket booth will go towards the animals' food and care, as well as paying for vet bills. So that's why it costs 5 to 10, depending on how many people are in your group. Moving to our first exhibit that used to be by the crocodile exhibit was, of course, the bug house, also known as the creepy critters house. This house, of course, if I can peel off the roof for everybody, once inside, you get to see a variety of small animals, including different types of insects, arachnids, and other sorts of specimens. These are small, creepy creatures, and of course, you can see a variety of them on the inside. If I can just get the roof back on. Moving down the streets of the zoo, you get to see a couple other smaller creatures, including some in this tank. I believe this was the scorpion, where you get to see a real live scorpion and a constrictor type of python looking like snake. And of course, our veterinarian stand right here. From the veterinarian stand over here, there's another place where veterinarians can, of course, get supplies and get anything they need to take care of small animals, and if they need to take care of a larger animal, they can get a med kit from inside. Of course, I can flip up the flaps. They have some drawers, a microscope, and if they need to get a med kit or something, they'll be able to get something to help out, of course, any animal in the park. This is like the park veterinarians. Moving on to our next animals that, of course, reside in the zoo that, of course, aren't an exhibit, but they live near the zoo is Squirrel Tree. Squirrel Tree is a tree that, of course, resides in the zoo and is home to many types of red squirrels and gray squirrels. And next to Squirrel Tree is, of course, the zebra, of course, enclosure. Of course, I didn't have very much room to give the zebras. I know it may be a little bit cramped, but of course, this is where the zebras reside for now, including right next to the horses, because zebras and horses, they both have hooves, and I feel like they're very closely related. Moving on to, of course, the petting zoo and the zoo area. Here we have the petting zoo with bunnies, cows, horses, pigs, all the zoo type animals. And behind the petting zoo, we have the rhino. Previously, of course, this was where, of course, the crocodile exhibit used to be. And of course, now it resides the rhino exhibit. Maybe it was the alligators that I was thinking of for the creepy critters stand. Next, we have the gift shop right next door. You can get t-shirts and all sorts of merch right here. I know the gift shop is usually at the front of the zoo, but of course, that's where the gift shop is located. Moving into the other exhibits, we have the monkey and ape exhibit. I know I didn't have very much room, and room was quite a problem, so I had to put all the monkeys and apes together in one enclosure and, of course, make it happen. I know in real life we don't have apes and monkeys and them all together, but for the sake of room and space, they have to share an exhibit together for the sake of room and space. Behind the ape and monkey exhibit is, of course, the panda exhibit, where red pandas and large pandas hang out. Next to the panda exhibit is, of course, the animals that reside in the forest, the woodlands. We have the otters right next to this body of water. The camera can focus. We have a skunk and a moose. You can see the moose. Across from those animals are, of course, the tiger. Of course, the tiger, is, of course, a great addition to the zoo. I was happy to get one of these sets that the tiger came in, and I'm very fortunate to get it because it makes a nice addition. Seeing a tiger at a zoo is very nice, and of course, very cool to, of course, seeing a zoo. Of course, going to my zoo in real life, seeing a tiger is, of course, very awesome to see a tiger. Very magnificent creature, and it, of course, is a nice addition to the zoo. Next to it is, of course, the bear exhibit. The bear is currently getting a drink of water, and this is like one of the first exhibits you see moving down the path here. The path kind of moves from the petting zoo, and you get the apes and monkeys exhibit. To the right of you, and to the left of you, the bear exhibit. Moving down the path, of course, after passing the tiger, you get to the crocodile exhibit. The crocodile exhibit, of course, used to be where the creepy critters exhibit used to be, but I changed it up because, well, it was time to make some changes in my Lego Zoo and Lego City, and I just wanted to, have the crocodile in a new spot just to change things up. Moving along down the path, behind the police station, moving down the path, you have the alligator exhibit on your left, and the elephants, and all the creatures of Africa, including a hippo. I know in a real life zoo they wouldn't all be together, but for the sake of space and the sake of room, I had to have like one big African exhibit all together. Make our way back behind the police building, and you have the alligator exhibit on your left, and the red fox exhibit with all the foxes. That fox exhibit used to be the lion enclosure, but the lions, of course, were very cramped, and I didn't like that, so I moved them up here. Making our way up, of course, to the top, we have our creatures of Africa, the hyenas, and large big cats like the lions. The bigger enclosure from what they once had in the formal exhibit, now with the foxes, and now they have a much bigger, a much more comfy exhibit. And down along you have the hyena exhibit and the penguin exhibit. And that's all the exhibits of my Lego Zoo. I'd like to know which one is your favorite of all the creatures in the zoo. Maybe it might be the snakes, or the creepy critters, or the tiger, or the lion. Of course, very much like to hear in the comments down below. And thank you so much to watching towards the end. Until next video, Christopher signing off.